Hurry Up Tomorrow cast share the real life inspiration behind the film instead of doing it spontaneously. All right, you can hear it, right? Fandango, big movies, big stars, big ticket.
Hey
This is
everybody,
a
I'm Nikki
clip
Novak,
from.
and welcome.
Of course, he's drinking tea. What is he drinking? Before the thing even starts, coffee. Bro was not ready. Bro, I wanted it to be better quality. Why is 1080p so ass these days?
I'm Nikki Novak, and welcome to Fandango's big ticket interview for Hurry Up Tomorrow. Hi.
Hi.
I love that you just gave me an applause for that. You're a nice Canadian boy.
Yeah, exactly.
We know, we're both Canadian. First question is to you. This is obviously a
Weeknd.
companion piece to your album. Where did that idea come from, that it needed a film?
Companion
to sort of
piece to the
complete
album.
Your journey.
The film came first. The album didn't exist.
Oh,
So
the film came
this
first.
music was kind of, we were scoring and I guess writing music to picture. So
Oh,
the
dope.
idea came from a real life incident that had happened, and I always saw it as a film. And so the film came first, and then the music, and yeah.
That's incredible that that came first, because this is different for you. I mean, this is obviously your first feature.
The film came
lead.
first.
Wondering for you, like when you are obviously on stage, you just performed at CinemaCon, you're on stage and you're getting the vibe from the crowd. They're feeding you. How is that for you?
It's about his thing. Him drowning in the tub, but like
Well,
his
you never know, right?
his life, I'm sure.
How is that for you as getting the vibe from the crowd? They're feeding you. How is that for you as a difference, and as a performer, how does that affect you?
Well, you never know, right? Like you never know if the room's gonna embrace the performer, and especially it's a surprise performance. It's not like people.
It's
bought
so
tickets to
weird.
see me. So,
It's so weird seeing him
there's
be
that silence prior
in
to
an
the
interview.
release. Like I don't know what's gonna happen. You go out there and you see people cheering, and you see one person getting up, and you feed off that energy. So I think for me, it's all about energy. It's like you came in and you're automatically like, I'm from Aurora, Scarlet. That energy is important to someone like me, and I'm sure any artist.
Yeah.
Jenna, this is her character.
Talk about energy,
very
bro.
enigmatic,
Real?
from what I understand.
Energy
She's
is
very
real, Joe.
mysterious. So wondering for you if you can just talk a little bit about her,
Energy is real.
but also understand she's.
What did she say? Bro,
Jenna,
I'm not
this
looking in.
is, your character is very enigmatic, from what I understand.
Enigmatic.
She's very mysterious. So wondering for you if you can
Canadian
just talk
accent.
a little bit about her, but also as an actress. Did this differ for you because it's something that we've never seen before? Does that change it for? Did it change it for you? Your experience on this film?
Yeah, definitely, and I think also because this
She
film,
British.
there's a very solid script there, but also every day we came on set, if it was a different environment, a different feeling,
Is she
or maybe
British?
something wasn't feeling right about a scene, we kind of changed Annie's place in Abel's life, so I kind of was taking on different forms, and I think that kind of helps the mysterious quality that she has, because you can't really follow where she's coming from, or who she is, or what she means to Abel. So that was very exciting to me, and perplexing to me, and I think it's yes.
She's American.
It's true, 'cause-
In a good way.
Why?
yeah,
What's
in
her
a good way.
accent?
I mean, I think it's good to kind of we all were kind of putting ourselves out there, and it's a very intimate film. So that is for somebody who has been doing this for over a decade and knows what it's like to be on set. It was so great to be able to, there were some days where we would just sit and talk and have conversations about the characters for hours, and that was just something that we did. And fortunately enough, Trey created an environment that felt like that was comfortable and encouraged, and it was just much more of an exploration of a person than I had anticipated coming into it, which was so thrilling and so exciting.
She's got an interesting accent.
Yes, Annie is very sensitive and vulnerable.
Yo,
and
Jake,
cares
how are you?
about
Welcome back.
Abel more than anyone else ever would. And
OMG,
he
how are you,
realizes
bro?
that,
How are you, bro? How
He's
you
having
been?
a hard time acknowledging that, so I think it's kind of my role to realize that, and Abel more than anyone else ever would, and vulnerable, and cares about Abel more than anyone else ever would, and he realizes that, and he's having a hard time acknowledging that. So I think
Wait, you don't like Ortega? Why? She's part of the Weeknd's film. Been good, been better. How about you? I've been good. I'm great, thanks. You hate her? Wait, why? Why you hate her, bro?
it's kind of my role to get in his face a little bit.
Wow. You wrote this obviously with Abel. You wrote it together. I know you're a cinephile. Obviously, you're a cinephile. You've talked about.
Yeah, but I don't have, luckily I don't hate her.
Did the two
She was in drama. Yeah, I'm watching it for him as well, but I don't have any hate towards Jenna Ortega.
Two of you talked together. Did you nerd out over any films? Were there any films that you said, oh, we kind of want to maybe draw a little bit of inspo? And what were they, if that was the case?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say we were saying earlier that it was, at first, it was just organic that we did love films. We're both cinephiles. We have like-minded tastes. But first, it started just like Abel had this idea.
She's all right.
We were both connecting over that, and then got creative juju and super inspired and excited and bouncing back and forth. And then naturally, influences started filtering in. And, you know, it ranged from Persona to Raging Bull to Purple Rain to Toby Dammit and Audition and you name it.
And Beetlejuice, of course.
Yes, of course. Possession.
Yeah, Possession.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. This is a version of yourself that you're playing.
For real.
What parts of yourself do you feel like showed up on screen, and what parts were an extension of yourself?
It's crazy. I think the only part where I felt like I saw myself was the incident that we kind of recreated. And it was kind of the only difficult thing to watch when I was watching, you know, the first cut back, because it felt like I transported to that moment.
Oh shit.
But aside from that, everything else felt like, you know, from the brainchild of Trey. Like, me and Trey created something, and then he found himself in the character, which is really important. And
Bro, his voice sounds so like.
Yeah, totally.
I
don't know.
got to actually play
His normal voice is so like
really play myself. I play
Wow.
And it was
actually play
interesting.
character.
I don't know.
didn't really
It
play
doesn't
myself.
sound like he's got that singing
I got to
singing
actually
voice. You know what I mean?
play a character. I didn't
Maybe
really
he's a
play
bit like.
myself. I played-
Maybe he's a bit like off the drugs or some shit, bro.
And it
Maybe
was-
he's
it was
maybe he smoked a bit.
basically, yeah, character.
So Petit and Breeder, that's crazy. It sounds like he's soft spoken, but like it's like, you know, after you have a hangover, or like fucking have a bender. That's what it sounds like though, a little bit. But like you're just chilling though. You're in a good way.
Recreated.
Okay, that sounds bad.
Personal truth and trauma, you know, and it was like we do these.
Like, you're just like on a fucking, low vibe.
history, so I could get to know him more,
Chill
share
vibe type shit.
information, and then for me, it was kind of thinking of a character for if Abel made the wrong decisions in his life, you know, and kind of went down
Alternate
a different
reality.
path. Yeah, exactly, an alternate reality, and yeah,
But what is reality?
beautiful for history, so I could get to know him more.
He's
You
too
know,
calm,
it was
bro.
Like we do these long therapy sessions and talk about his history, so I could get to know him more and share information. And then for me, it was kind of thinking of a character for if Abel made the wrong decisions in his life, you know, and kind of went down
Alternate
a different
reality.
path. Yeah, exactly, an alternate reality, and yeah,
But what is reality?
beautiful.
Oh, what is
That is
reality?
a question I'm thinking that this movie answers.
That's what
was
it
all it-
asks.
Was I was in the
I just spoiled your whole movie for you. How did I just do that?
I was gonna say, now that you're saying that, it kind of feels like Annie and Abel are kind of two extreme ends of the spectrum
Yeah,
of Abel. Incredibly warm and incredibly cold.
Damn.
That's
I
beautiful.
just
Yeah,
thought
we're
about
getting
that.
very
Damn, the savage.
This has been described as something we've never seen before.
Yeah, I was
It
playing
is
Red
something we've
Dead.
never
Kinda
seen
turned me
before.
on.
A
Hell yeah,
feature
bro.
film
Subscribe to the
based
YouTube, bro.
on
Exclamation
what
point
came
YT.
first before the
Did you
album,
watch it on
but
YT?
this is companion piece. So can you just describe, and any one of you can answer this?
Thanks, bro.
How is this
Appreciate
gonna
the
be for
support.
an audience? Something that we haven't seen before. In what way?
Oh hell yeah! Oh, that's what, oh you're literally saying okay, bro. I want to do more variety stuff. That's why
People want to experience
I've been playing other
something
games and
that
stuff.
they've never seen before.
I tried to design the film to where, regardless if you listen to Abel's music and album or not, it's hopefully a great special film on its own. But I think if you do
It
listen
is
to his
fire,
music
bro.
and you do listen to that album, they're beautifully interlinked and enrich each other. You know, sometimes
No.
just a scene
Haven't
in the
bought a
movie
ticket
that
yet.
another viewer would just assume is a scene, a part
I
of our
don't know if it-
narrative, could
when
be a
it's coming
song
to
on the
DK.
album with the lyrics of what his
Ticket
character's
full.
headspace is actually at. So Abel tied them in together in a way with me that I just thought was really beautiful and really unique. And like the only comp we had was like Prince with Purple Rain, but this is not Purple Rain. This is something very different. And I think that for me, like when I started making films, the goal, my favorite filmmakers are auteurs who make films only they could make, and singular, fresh things. And those were what excited me. So for this, talking with Abel, it was like, I really feel like we can make something we've actually never seen before. And that's like the most creative ambition for me to have for doing something, you know?
Obviously, you're working with a musician. I don't know, sometimes actors listen to music to get into character. What were sort of things you were listening to on set? Were there any songs written? Was it the album that Abel created? And what were you listening to? And did you two bond over music?
Yeah, I pretty much was only listening to Abel during production. No, that's fine. No, I enjoyed it. It was, not to give too much away, but it is a really big part of Annie's experience in the film. So, yeah, I think a lot of my prep and preparation is somebody who's supposed to know Abel so immensely well. If no matter what I was doing, it was either his music was playing, or if I had some time in the car, I would watch a music video, or, you know, pick up on certain things, just stuff like that. I just wanted to familiarize myself with the two different sides of Abel as much as possible. Kind of strange talking about it in front of you, but I was kind of stalking you for a second, but that was kind of my job. So.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, how does that make you feel?
That's a compliment. I mean, when you watch the film,
it'll make a lot of
it makes a lot of sense
yeah.
when you watch the film.
It sounds like you all really had to get to know each other on a very, very deep and intimate level. And sometimes film timing, pacing of, you know, budgets, it doesn't really allow that. I don't know why I want to ask this, but what did you learn about yourselves through exploring each other? Does that make sense?
One thing I would say,
Yo.
just based off of the first half of that question, is films are so strange because you meet these people, you are really close with them, and you see them almost every second of every day, it feels like, for 2 months, and then there's a good chance you never see these people again. Or when you do see them, it's very distant, and it's very, you know, so by the time you get to the end of the job, you're
Character
kind of having to
development.
say goodbye, and it's tough.
It definitely
Whereas this
will
one, I think,
have-
because
I
from
think
my
it definitely
feeling
will be a
and
good.
my
good-
understanding is we knew that
in
this
some
was
way,
a
at least.
vulnerable story, but then also, I mean, they're so kind and warm and sweet that it just felt like we all had an understanding. We all came into it knowing what was going down, and we knew what was required of us to pull this off in a way that felt right and authentic to us. So I felt like we all kind of had our guards down.
Yeah, for sure.
We all were instantly vulnerable and open, and just shared a lot of personal, you know, qualities about ourselves very instantly. And I think it's very obvious in the film, or, you know, what we created, because it was just, we weren't hiding from each other. There wasn't this, we were professional, but it was just very revealing, I think, in a lot
like
of
a
ways,
giant therapy
emotionally.
session.
Yes.
100%.
Thank you all so
Am I
much.
getting?
This was a therapy session. I want to join this
Interesting.
group. Thank you so much, and
Thank you.
congratulations on the
Such a
film. Can't
pleasure.
wait to see it.
Bro, it is weird having him in an interview. Yeah, people are talking about how he's never in an interview, bro.